Hello there and welcome back to Satisfactory. Yes, we're back on Satisfactory once again, going to be continuing a single player playthrough on 1.1. So, if you weren't here last time, we had gotten half of the grasslands loop finished. And what this does mean is we can start to go back to factory making. Because that is just one of the things that we definitely wanted to get back to doing, was to get back to making our electronic factory so we can actually get ourselves out of phase 4, because we've been stuck in phase 4 for a very, very long time. So that is one of the things. But we did get the half of the grasslands loop that we wanted done, at least for now, and whatnot. And that's all of them bridges and stuff. Yeah, took a lot of work getting the blueprints and stuff set up for that, but we did manage to get it done. So today's plan is to hopefully get started on some kind of factory. So let's go ahead and get on into it. Let's go. Alrighty, and here we are over here in the grasslands right at the end. So yeah, we got the half of it anyway, half of the grasslands loop completely finished, because we're gonna have this loop go from here up that way, and then we're gonna have a T-junction in here that heads down that way towards all that smoke. There's actually a waterfall over there. I'm surprised we can't see it from here, but yeah, down above that marker, like roughly that way, there is a spot over there where we're going to be using that for our nuclear pasta factory, which our nuclear pasta factory is going to be epic because I've already got the design in mind. So, all right. So a few things as we get started here. First things first, right? I do have a design in mind and ready to go for a computer factory. Actually, I had the idea kind of for a while now, I guess. It's just kind of been in the back of my mind where it's kind of been sitting waiting to be used type of deal. Like, I didn't know I was going to be using it for the computers, but that's what we're going to be using it for. So yeah, I have a design in mind and I am ready to go. Unfortunately, we have a problem. We have a major, major problem, and I don't know why that is, but we're going to have to go and fix it. And I have a very unique way of getting over that. So our plastic factory is suffering again. It's still having issues, probably with heavy oil. If I had to guess, it's heavy oil related, because we use the normal plastic recipe, which you take heavy oil, or you take crude oil and you turn it into plastic, and then you get an excess of heavy oil. And I'm wondering if our heavy oil train's not fast enough to get rid of it all, and because the plastic train that's been coming by here isn't delivering. Now we're making 3,150 plastic, right? We're only using 700 of that. Roughly. I did make a marker over here, by the way. Finally, we're only using 775 of that out of the 3,000 possible plastic we could be making. Now we are sinking the plastic, of course, which maybe we should turn the sinks off for that, and that would slow down the heavy oil. That could be a good possibility, is to turn off all the sinks. But I would like to run at full capacity, so that we can continue to make fuel. Essentially, because once we compromise our heavy oil production, we compromise our fuel production, which compromises our power production. So we're kind of in a bit of a bind here. And you can see this is the plastic train that's bringing over plastic. Look at this. Look how pathetic this is. It comes all the way across the map to deliver one car plus a stack. So that's what, 25 stacks? 24 and a half stacks of plastic. That's not very good. I mean, each stack is 200, and we're bringing over, or no, wait, is it 28 or 32? I think the cars are 28. 32. Okay, so 32 and a half slots of plastic, which if we take that 200 times 32, we're bringing over 6,400 plastic. That sounds like a lot, but it isn't, because this factory that we're working on right here, This factory makes 525 circuit boards a minute. And we have a sink going on this one as well. Love this design, by the way. But if we go inside of here and screw the elevator because I'm lazy. Why are all these lights yellow? I'm not going to say why they're all yellow. They're not supposed to be yellow. I think what happened was I accidentally reversed one of the light controllers that I'd placed. Ended up screwing up the whole freaking factory. Unfortunately, actually, we could fix that. But anyway, yeah, this factory... And this factory isn't even being used all the time. But yeah, you can see we are suffering with plastic. That train just left. And, you know, obviously we're going to be running for a bit. We're going to run out of plastic before before all 60 machines that we have in here even get remotely full, which is very unfortunate. Because it's just it's a big fly in the face of what we're trying to accomplish here. So that plastic factory needs to get fixed, and the best thing to fix it is to fix the heavy oil. Let me see where this power is coming from real quick. All right, so our power is coming from up there, which is connected to all these lights. How are these lights connected? Okay, so this is ultimately where we're getting our power from. We're not pulling power from the other train stations, right? Just got to make sure that none of the other train stations are connected. So we're bringing a quick wire, because we're using the quick wire circuit board because it makes more with less. So yeah, we use quick wire instead of normal copper sheets, but the amount of plastic that it uses is so little. What are we doing on power production? We're actually not bad. Our power boost is over. Just the boost itself is over. But yeah, we're syncing circuit boards and stuff. Yeah, it's just it's a big mess. So, all right, what I need to do is let's put a light controller on this so we can isolate it from the rest of our factory. Yeah, we're probably not going to get to factory building a whole lot today, because we have this issue with this plastic and we need to solve it. So, all right, so power is going to be coming in from the right, and then we're just going to go power. I'm going to throw up a couple. Actually, let me do it the normal way that I do it. It gets the power above, you know, the workers and stuff. So it makes sense. Let's put this up there. Okay, so just like that, and then we'll go bam. This is where the power is coming in. Bam. 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 Thank you, ma'am. Okay. Put that up there, put that up there. Alright, and then what we'll do is I'm just going to bring this over to, oops, what do I say? Like, yeah, that's going to cause some lag. Come on, connect to it. Connect to the rest of the factory. Okay, now I need to find my connection again. I put them on top because it hides them very well, but also at the same time, it can be a real pain in the butt to actually target them. Okay, so that'll be our power coming in. Alright, so then, yeah, we gotta rip the band-aid off. Oh, there goes the entire factory, just shut down. Actually, I put that at about the right height, didn't I? Oh, and now it's gone dark. Okay. I guess I didn't need this. Alright, but by isolating that, it allows us to control the lights in here. There we go. Get the... It's very green in here. Woo! Hell yeah. Ah, my eyeballs. It's too green. Let's go check out. Now that we got the proper lighting in here. I might go back to white. Yeah. I don't know how anybody could work in this environment. Nope. We're going back to white. It's supposed to be white anyway. That's what I originally set it to, so. But yeah. Oh. Oh, that's my hover pack. I'll fix that in a second. There we go. Back to white. And then let all that turn from green to white. There goes. Perfect. Oh, there's still one yellow light. Oh, no, that's the gold. Okay. Alrighty. Back to normal. Yeah, that's a mess. Okay, so if you ever get lag with your hover pack, the way to fix it is to take the hover pack off, put it in your inventory, put it back on, or swap it with the jetpack, whichever, and do that. Okay, and then it stopped lagging. It's a weird bug that has existed for a while, so. Alright. Do we have... I think we have power out here, don't we? Or did we disconnect it? I might have disconnected it. There used to be a, yeah, I disconnected it. There used to be a, whatchamacallit out here. A, blueprint designer. There we go. Let's see if I can connect this to my power system. It's a little too far. Right, how far can I go with this? There we go. I'm just going to reconnect these for now. Because we're going to be doing something. Okay. So, I know we've wasted enough time, but onto my plan. So, I could take a train over to the plastic factory, cut it out, you know, everything's peachy keen. We just make our way over there with the train. Just fine. But, recently, there was a video I was watching. I was in the live chat. This is Gaming with Doc, which I really love. Like, you know, I always wanted to make, you know, tutorials and stuff on Satisfactory. Well, he's done it to the extreme. He is a really good teacher and stuff like that. So very awesome to him as well. But I was in his one of his live chats, and we were talking about hypertube cannons. I was like, I'm going to build a hypertube cannon, and I never got around to it. Now I finally have an excuse to build a hypertube cannon. I'm finally going to get around to doing that. So we're going to build a blueprint for the hypertube cannon. Now I have already started. Like I said, I didn't really get around to it, but we're finally going to get around to it. And that's the other reason for the power out here, is so we can build a hypertube cannon and then connect it as well. So basically, we're going to be showing you guys how to build a hypertube cannon, and then we're going to pretty it up, essentially. I don't know how long this is going to take me, but, you know, I really wanted to do one of these. Because I've never done one before. Like, I built a hypertube cannon, but I've never actually designed one, you know? It's hard to explain. Alright, so this is what I've got so far. It's not much at all. There it goes. Hypertube rail cannon was my idea. So here's our hypertube grill cannon. This is what I was working on, but I'm going to show you how to get up to this point so you can actually use it as well. I was going to say, why are those acting like they're in thing? But yeah, basically, I want to build it. Obviously, this I'm going to change this, but I want to build it in a way that's like a big gun, essentially, pointing up into the air. Because the normal hypertube cannons, the one you see everybody using is the one that goes along the floor, and then it's got a little up thing to shoot you up into the air, which is cool. You know, that works just fine too. But this one's going to shoot you. You're going to be up into the air, and then I'm going to have a little upwards trajectory to it as well, because it's not quite, the angle's not quite right. But I can't really do an 8-meter angle. I've tried, and it just doesn't work. And you also got to be careful with this. Make sure you don't have anything past the last point, or have it pointed up away from it, because otherwise you will die. It will just straight kill you. But yeah, so yeah, I'll show you how to build a hypertube cannon. Let's go ahead and clear this blueprint. It was just my first kind of, I don't know, I guess you could say like sketch or whatever. Just kind of my first idea for one. And I'm actually going to have this as two pieces. We're going to have the base, and then you have the actual cannon. So you're going to put the cannon on the base, essentially. We'll have like, build it in such a way that's like lined up. That you can like line it up pretty easily, or at least line it up in a way that makes it look good. And it's what I was thinking anyway. Either that or we could build it all in one, which would be fine too. Okay. So let's go to transport. Now, I don't usually use hypertubes a lot, and hypertube cannons, I don't know. It's a weird thing, so. But the first thing you start out with, I always like to start out with a hypertube support, so that I know where I start. And I'm just going to, well, I'll show you how to build the one, and then we can work on actually designing a decent one. This is how I designed it, was I used a 4-meter as my slope to create my slope, essentially. We're going to zoop that up to 5. Okay, it's not working today. Oh, how weird. Yeah, today it doesn't want to work. I was able to, I guess it doesn't really matter all that much. It's kind of annoying though. That I was able to put this outside, and now I'm no longer able to. The blueprint designer is weird. So we'll just start out with this. Or we just do this. Okay, that'll work. It's fine. Basically, the idea, though, is the more sections you add, the further you'll go as well. But, yeah, we'll start off with a hypertube entrance. Just start out with that. Just like that. Perfectly fine. And then we're going to put a hypertube entrance on it and make sure we aim it the right way. So going in that way, just like that. Then what we're going to do is we're going to grab a hypertube, and we're going to go like this. Just like this. Put it right on the edge-ish. We're going to aim it up. You might have to go one more section. The auto is doing something very weird with that. Usually it's curve mode or noodle mode. Both of those will work. Okay, perfect. And you place your next one. And what you're going to do is you're going to go like this. You're going to spread them out. Perfect, just like that. So you can see I go to where it touches it, and I go one more. So then we get this little gap. And essentially what this does is every time you hit one of these, you get sucked into a new hypertube is the idea. And then when you get sucked into that new hypertube, you actually gain speed. Because every time you get sucked into a hypertube entrance, you actually get a bit of momentum. It's like a vacuum, you know. So that's the basic idea, essentially. I might have put too many there, but then what you're going to do is every other one, you're going to put a hypertube entrance on them. Now, you don't have to. You could actually just place, I believe, yeah, you just place the hypertube entrance. It's fine. But I like to do this because then I can angle it. Now, this is going to look a little weird, but that's just how it is. So we're going to do new hypertube entrance, but it's going to be every other one, just like that. Actually, I placed just the right amount. And then you're going to grab yourself a hypertube, and what you're going to do, like set curve mode or noodle mode. Either way, it'll work. But you need to have that for this kind of angle. If you're going straight across, it doesn't matter which one you use. Let's see, curve mode didn't work. Noodle mode works though. It's just there's a weird angle going on here. But yeah, you're going to be spat out of each one of these. Okay. And actually, I need to remove this one, so... I remove that. Yeah, remove the hypertube. Okay, so, and then the very last one, especially if you're on a flat, the very last one is your flight angle, essentially, how high you want it to go. Dang it, I'm trying to grab the... It's so close. There we go. I connect to this, and you want to go a little bit further out so you can judge your angle and stuff like that. And I'm going to put this into curve mode so it's a little smoother. I'm going to put it all the way out here, and then I'm just going to aim it maybe a bit more of an angle like that. Yeah, so a bit like that. Raise it up a little bit, stuff like that. And she works just fine. Okay. Curve mode. Like I said, it's going to look a little weird just because of how the angles. I mean, look, a hypertube is definitely not properly connected. But yeah. So that works for that one. And that's basically how I built it, essentially. Now you could put a couple of power poles in here, get these all connected up, whichever way. We're just going to go ahead and clear that because that's not the design I want anyway. But I'll show you what the hypertube cannon does. And it's actually best if you use a jetpack with a hypertube cannon. And it's actually essential. Either that or at least a parachute. Because you're going to be flying very, very fast. At a very high altitude. So we're going to blueprint, and then we're going to type in hypertube. So this was my V1 thing that I did here. And I'm just going to put it right next to this pole. And then this one needs to be Mark 3. Because we have enough connectors. I might need another power pole as well. So I'm going to put a Mark 2 down. So connect that. Okay, yeah. So then what I'm going to do, because this one didn't get added when I built this blueprint. So yeah, a bit like that. That one connected a little cleaner than the last one did. Maybe it's because I didn't connect it properly. So maybe it's because I'm an idiot. Yeah, that connects just fine. Hold on. Let's try that again. Actually, it connects much better if you go from one to the other. Okay, perfect. Then we need to connect each one of these. Yeah, and you can see it's working because they're all green. If they're yellow, you've got a problem. Something's not connected properly. But you want them to all be green, essentially. Yeah, I knew I was going to need another one there. Okay. And I'm just going to grab the foundation and stick it. Okay, so hypertube cannon is ready. You don't want to do too crazy either, because if you go too crazy, it ends up shooting you across the map, and you entirely miss your mark. So you definitely want a hypertube cannon that's not going to essentially kill you, shoot you into the void. So, yeah, we're gonna do jetpack with our ionized fuel here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and throw down a save. Man, that normal save just takes so long. It's like 30 seconds. All right. And here we go. Woohoo! Now, I might have been a little too crazy with my angle, but yeah, you can see, now we can see the entire map. So yeah, that's basically how we're going to get over to our plastics factory. I actually had a pretty good angle there. And make sure you have full health too, because that way if anything goes wrong, you can at least hit the ground and still survive. But yeah, there's our hypertube cannon. Now I'm going to design it later because we do have a lot of work to do. So let's see if we can get this plastics factory going. Look at the entire map. I got so many factories everywhere. It's insane. And you got the frame factories over there in the swamp biome. You got my quartz and silica factory, quickwire factory. Man, just all the factories. My pressure, my liquid tanks. Yeah, when you're up here, the map actually doesn't look that big, does it? But it is big. See, that's where we came from. Actually, it wasn't too bad. Now I'm about to run out of fuel, so yep, I'm just gonna let myself coast and let my last burst as all of the potato graphics get loaded in. We're flying in really fast, so the graphics are like, hey, we're gonna load in fast, quick. Nice. And here we are over at the plastics factory. Very nice. Okay, we're gonna go check on this. Having issues with the plastic factory again. Yep, that's what's happened. All of this entire train station's full. Good lord. Oh, you know what's happening as well? I bet where we're sinking our heavy oil, I bet that's a 5-car train station. I didn't even look. But yeah, so you could definitely see where hypertube cannon like that can definitely get you across the map pretty damn quickly. So yeah, I bet it's a 5-car train over here dropping off some of the heavy oil. So not too good. Not too good. We're definitely gonna need to do something about that somewhere. At some time. Whee! There's our crude oil train. We'll hitch our ride. That's a little bit laggy, but yeah. But like I said, I almost bet you. Ah! And it's a 5-car train. Yeah, it looks like a 5-car train. Ah, sad. Okay, we're gonna have to do something else then. Yeah, we're gonna have to definitely fix that because we're dropping off the heavy oil. It's just it's just not fast enough. All right. Yeah, we'll see if we can fix this issue here. Alrighty, so I finally got that problem fixed, the plastic over there. So basically what I did was I took that 5-car train station that was basically supplying that temporary packaging facility just so we could sink the oil, just so we could sink the heavy oil. And I put a 10-car train station on it, and then made the train station, or made the train also 10 cars as well. So yeah, that's that. So that problem hopefully should be fixed by now. I did do a bunch of flushing and stuff like that just to make sure it emptied out most of the plastics factory. Now our plastic trains are coming back full as well. I mean, they're not going to be completely full for a while, but yeah, they are coming back full. So yeah, it's just it's one of those things. It's like I gotta balance it, otherwise it's just not going to work. Okay, so I guess we can get started on this. Train station idea, or computer factory idea. Now I know we waste most of our episode already on fixing that issue, but hey, you know what? That's another issue fixed. Okay. So I'm thinking about putting maybe an intersection here on this particular bridge, because this is wide enough to put an intersection on, so it's not too bad. Oops. Guess we can go ahead and clear the area. There's a lot of trees and stuff. We'll just use our snowballs. Clear up all these trees. Get out of here, nature. You're in my way. I'm out of power. No. Okay, yeah, we're just gonna clear this whole deal. There we are. Alright. So I'm just thinking about the design that I had in mind, and I was thinking about a building that has basically 2 rounded edges on it, like a long rectangle, but with rather than a squared off edge like this one is right here, we can do like a rounded edge or something similar. I'm not really sure though. I haven't gotten the design completely down in my mind yet, but I am still working on it. So yeah, we need to get at least get a platform started. I'm probably gonna have to go to the height right there at that little cliff edge. We might even have to go higher, like higher above this rock, because we are kind of a little bit low, so definitely need to work on that. But yeah, putting the factory here is actually not a bad spot. It's mostly flat, so I'm trying to decide, should we go off of the level of this or should we go lower? I'm thinking we should go lower, probably go down into the factory, kind of like what we did over there at the computer factory. The other thing too, we need to look at our alternates for computers. I need to decide on which computer recipe we're going to be doing. We could go to the crystal computer because we're going to be needing to make crystal oscillators anyway. Because crystal oscillators are used in the radio control system, which is an alternate radio control unit. Yeah, so we're going to be needing to make crystal oscillators anyway. So it's like we could go with this, and then that would cut down the train stations. The crystal computer. Go back to computer. But I'm thinking We can't use the Caterium computer because we're already using all of our Caterium wire. I think we might be going standard for this. We might be doing standard computers. I'm going to be making 100 computers a minute, so I'm trying to decide how much we're going to need. Now, according to the calculations here, we're going to be needing 400 circuit boards, 800 cable, and 1600 plastic if we want to go with the normal recipe. Obviously, we can't use this alternate because, like I said, we're already using all of it. I mean, look how much quickwire that is. That's a lot of quickwire. I can actually tell you exactly how much quickwire that is. It changes over to here. I'm using Satisfactory calculator, by the way, to make all these calculations. That's 1400 quickwire. That's a lot of quickwire. And my quickwire facility right now is limited. It may make 4,000, but we're limited by belt speed. That's the reason why it's 2,143. Is because that's all we can get out of that factory right now. Our belt speed is kind of limited on that. So I think we'll go with the standard recipe. This will be 4 train stations. Because they did remove the what you call it, screws requirement in this. So yeah, sorry, I was looking at that. Yeah, so the screws requirement has been completely removed from computers, which is really nice. So yeah, 4 train stations and a bunch of manufacturers. If we were not to overclock any of it, that would be 40 manufacturers. That is insane. That's a lot of manufacturers. So basically, yeah, like I said, it's going to be a building, maybe not as tall as this one because we're not going to need that much space. Like that one was 60 machines and I put 20 per floor. This one only needs 40 and we're going to be overclocking, so we're going to need even less. I mean, we could go with the standard 40 machines. We'll see how big it is, but yeah, so basically I'm going to limit this to the size of the train stations themselves because the train station is going to be in the bottom, just like that one is. So it's going to be roughly that size. It's just what I'm going to do is I'm going to round off the edges in a like half circle on each end. So it's kind of like, it'll look kind of like a hotel almost, like those fancy hotels. And that's actually kind of the design I wanted to go for. I think that would be a really cool design to go for. Make it look like one of those modern hotels. They got like rounded edges. I think that would be really, really cool. And we could play with some designs with it and whatnot. This will probably take us the rest of the week as well. So yeah, let me get a platform down and maybe we can get the train stations done today. And then that'll be about it for our episode since we had to waste it on the plastic factory, damn it. But hey, you got to fix those issues sometimes. And, you know, I don't want to, you know, not show you guys that I never have any issues. I don't want to do that. So show you that I do have issues, that we do end up, this is how you kind of diagnose and try to fix some of the issues that you might run into Satisfactory, because I like to teach, it's just I'm not very good at it. That's my problem. So anyway, let me go ahead and get that. I'm going to be using this grid, just not as high. So just as long as the train stations fit on this grid, I'll have to make sure they fit on this grid first before I use it. But yeah, let me get a platform down, maybe some train stations, and we'll figure it out from there. Alrighty, so yep, went ahead and did my calculations with our manufacturer here. I'm going to do 20 manufacturers rather than the 40. I mean, if it's looking like I can do 40, I might do 40 just for fun. But for now, we're going to look at doing 20 of them, 5 per minute per machine. That is 2 overclock because each manufacturer does 2.5 computers. And we just overclock it 2 times, and then that does 5 per minute per machine, which equals 20 machines into 100 machines per, or 100 computers per minute. We need 400 circuit boards per minute, 800 cable per minute, and 1,600 plastic. So for the cable and the plastic, we're definitely going to have a consolidated storage for those because of how much we're using per minute. Plus, it would be nice to have a little bit extra storage to see if it lasts anyway. But yeah, consolidation storage, especially for the plastic, because the plastic is it's such a high number. When it gets up into the 4-digit range, that's where I start doing like buffer storages and stuff like that. But yeah, so there's our count ready to go. And we have all of our train stations. We've got our plastic train station, we've got our cable train station, we got the circuit board train station, and we've got the computers train station. Now, absolutely, yes, I could just run a belt from here to here, but that'll break the rules, so I'm unable to do that. So we're going to have a train deliver the circuit boards. I have room for it anyway, so it's good. But yeah, as I talked about, the ends of this is going to be circular. I was going to do it out of pillars, which I still might do that, just so I could build the walls out of pillars and stuff, because that way we could do some kind of intricate design work and stuff like that. I think that would be really nice. But yeah, I decided to do the whole shiny flooring. I mean, it's supposed to look like a modern hotel, so. But yeah, these right here, these are not going to be the walls or what it's going to look like really. Our pillars are going to stick about halfway out, I think. And then we can use our pillar work to do like really fancy work on the outside. And stuff like that while keeping everything really nice. Why is this? Oh, is the plastic train here? Oh, the plastic train's here. Yep, the plastic train. I'm surprised it had any plastic to remove. Okay, but anyway. So next time, because we're at the end of our episode here, unfortunately that's pretty much going to be it. But next time we're going to have to go fix the cable factory. Because our cable factory only makes 2,500. I need to edit this so that it's proper. Yeah, it's actually like this. Yeah, I didn't specify that when I was putting those together. So, yeah, we have cable and then we have wire, which is yeah, 2,900 out of 2,500 cable. And I figured out exactly, the reason I know which one's which is because I figured out exactly exactly how much cable I'm taking versus how much wire I'm taking, which is what I did was I looked at the automated wiring. Oops. So we look at our automated wiring and how much that takes. And of course we did this recipe and we're producing 100 of these bad boys, which is 2,000 cable. Unless I'll have to check that again, unless we overclocked it. I might be wrong about the wiring cable. I might have swapped it. Yeah, I might have swapped it by accident, but yeah, we're going to need a lot of cable for this, and we need, like I said, 800 cable and stuff like that, so we may have to fix our cable, but we'll figure that out all next time. We'll figure out exactly how much cable we're taking, because we're only using, because if we actually type in cable, okay, we're going to have to look in the codex, because the codex doesn't show blueprints. Yeah. Okay, so if we look in our cable, what is it used? And he's using that. We're not making that either. We're not making that. We're not making that. We're not making that. We're only making the automated wiring, I believe. We're not making high-speed connectors. We are just about to make computers, so... Yeah, I think the automated wiring is the only thing that takes cable right now, which is good, because you can see all the alternates. Like if there's any alternate stuff that cable is also used in, so... Yeah. I don't think there's alternate for automated wiring anyway. I think automated wiring. Oh, there's an alternate high-speed wire, of course, which we can't use. But anyway, yeah, so we'll be figuring that out as well. Also, once we get this factory done, we can actually go for the adaptive control unit factory and get that started. Because if we take that out, we can take out our entire factory that's over there at the one that's over at the temporary stuff. We could completely take that out if we build the adaptive control units. The adaptive control units would be getting that factory done would take a lot of weight off my shoulders as well. So that's just another factory that we have to work on. But anyway, but with this platform down and the trains coming in, I got trains coming in for everything, and we got our computer export here as well. We'll be coming in on the edge here, which looks rather nice. And I did my intersection as well. So I got my intersection done, my T intersection with the new bridge style. Had to hand make this, of course. We're not going to be able to fit that in a blueprint. Not yet, anyway. Maybe someday. But got that for our 1 meter descent as well to go down into the factory, which looks rather good. So anyway, like I said, that is going to be it for this episode of Satisfactory. So I do hope you enjoyed. Oh, and before you go, I'd like to give a huge shout out and thank you to all of the investors you can see on your screen right now. Seriously, thank you. You guys are awesome. It is much appreciated. And until next time, I guess it's a goodbye.